Welcome to Planet Comicon 2019. I'm Thomas Townley, and I'm here with Mr. Dayton Ward, author extraordinaire, man of talent.
I don't know about any of that. I'll cop to the name. I don't know about the rest of it. So.
And first, give us kind of the dust jacket version of your career.
Okay, I write science fiction, and within that, I write a lot of licensed property science fiction. So like Star Trek novels, and 24, and Mars Attacks, and Planet of the Apes. So I got my start by writing a short story for a contest, a Star Trek short story contest. And after I won a couple of those, they offered me a Star Trek novel contract, and I've been doing it ever since. So it's about 20 years now.
20 years, wow. And so how many books have you written in that time?
I've written between either by myself or writing with Kevin, my partner. We've written 26 novels. I'm getting ready to start number 27, and a whole bunch of shorter novellas and short stories and magazine articles and website articles and whatever else they want me to write.
And what's your latest work?
My newest book is a Star Trek Next Generation novel called Available Light, and it will be on sale on April 9th, so that's 2 weeks from now.
Oh, cool.
A week from now, just over a week from now.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, it helps if you've read some of the previous Next Generation novels. We have an ongoing storyline that takes place several years after the last movie with Captain Picard, and Captain Picard's in a bit of hot water because of some stuff he did several years earlier that has now come to light, and so he's basically on the hook and answering for what would be considered treason.
Cool. Okay, and we have a lot more Star Trek now. We now have Discovery, and we're getting a Picard series, and an animated series, and all that. If they ask you to write anything for that, would you?
Well, I've already I wrote a Star Trek Discovery novel that came out last year. Yes, to answer your question, yes. If they asked me to write something for one of the new shows, I would absolutely do it.
Cool. And of course, you mentioned you've written Planet of the Apes novels and stuff like that. Is there anything that if someone came to you and said you can write for this particular property, is there something that you'd want to do?
Okay, so let's say for modern stuff, like stuff that's current in movies and TV, I would totally write an Orville novel if they did it. And I'm also a big fan of John Wick. So if they wanted to do John Wick novels, I'd be there for that. And then for classic stuff, I'm a huge fan of the $6 Million Man from the 70s. I would love to write something with that, whether it's a comic or a story or a novel.
Cool. So what would be, if you had to look at a library of all your books, what would be the best thing you've ever written?
I don't know about best necessarily. That's for somebody else to decide. But for favorites, I was a part of a series called Star Trek Vanguard, where we basically wrote a spin-off of the original series, and that was probably one of my very favorite projects for Star Trek. That's a novel. Now, for non-novel stuff, I've written a couple of books that are travel guides to different planets within the Star Trek universe that I'm very fond of.
Awesome. And on the subject of that, are there any more coming out?
For the travel guides?
Yeah.
None are planned right now, but they've been talking about how they can revisit the concept and do something different with it. Cool.
Okay, and one quick question. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
A pine tree. I don't know why.
Yeah, you look kind of piney.
I'm from Florida.
All right. Thank you very much, Dayton. And we'll catch more